because shit is happening where you're from, but that doesn't mean that you can act like shit when you're somewhere else, right? When I traveled, I always respected the culture, the rules, the laws in the country, different laws, different countries, right? What happens when racism tells white people to fuck off? This is what happens.
This is what a street in South Africa looked like in 2010. But this is what it looks like today. Mountains of trash as far as the eye can see, people living in the trash, children playing in the trash, people defecating in the trash.
And this is not a joke, guys. This is not a joke. I can confirm. My brother, he literally they moved away from there like 5 years ago. They're living in a tropical island in the middle of somewhere in the Pacific. This is where my brother lives at the moment. They just like fuck off South Africa and move to a tiny island in the Pacific.
You can practically smell it from here. And this is not just
disgusting,
this one road.
right?
It is
16
all
years
across South Africa after years.
Fucking slums, man. It used to be so beautiful. You tell the white man to fuck off, and this is what happens.
Black supremacy, radical hatred of white people, and the Marxist communist socialism of the ANC political party, which is destroying the nation. And now, finally, some people are starting to turn around and scratch their heads and wonder, wait a second, maybe white people weren't to blame for all of the problems of South Africa this whole time. Maybe the problem had to do with something else entirely. Something else far less politically correct than blaming white people for everything.
This is fucking scary, guys. When I saw this, I almost started crying. This is how much it breaks my heart.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Really good to have you here in today's episode of What on Earth is Going On in the World.
I'm tired of racism.
We have got to talk about South Africa. Now, South Africa has turned into an absolute dump of a place in recent years. I had no idea just how bad it had gotten until I zoomed in to Google Earth, went into Street View, and started to look at the before versus after of so many of these different neighborhoods, and you start to see how what was otherwise these beautiful, pleasant regions has now turned into a scene from district.
Juggernaut says, your family is from Nigeria, and they constantly talk about corruption problems, right? It's the same with my brother's family, original from Kenya, but they said they couldn't stay in Kenya because things were just like, you know, terrible. So you take your family further down south. So they moved to South Africa and they grew up there and tried to make a better life for themselves, right? And so they did. And now shit is falling apart over there. So they kind of like left again, right? Because you just like, no. And another thing, people always think it's the white men that colonized South Africa, but there's a lot of African countries, such as like my family from Kenya that you know, moved to South Africa. So it's been colonized by a lot of African countries as well. People from Somalia moving down there, hoping it's better because they had a better infrastructure, right? They build up like businesses and a whole society, and with the white men together, right? But now they told like everything is the white man problem. You gotta leave. Basically, more and more people just like, well then fuck it, we're going. And this is what happens. This is terrible.
District 9, it has turned into a slum town where every
Slums.
piece of metal has been stolen
You
for
had
scrap
such
metal.
a good place and you
All the
fucking
windows have been
ruined
knocked out,
it.
trash has built up everywhere, and I had no idea just how bad it had
Look, it
gotten.
looks like a
It
war
also has
zone.
one of the highest murder rates of any other country around the world, where about 75 people are murdered every single day.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there. Nah, fuck that. Nuh-uh. Fuck that.
The sexual violence is through the roof. The corruption in the police force, in
Yeah,
the government
corruption.
is almost unparalleled. It is a country on its knees because of hatred against white.
Only, wait, what? Only 1 out of 10 children can read? 2 out of 10 children.
Of hatred
No wonder
against
people
white
are like,
and all the
fuck
black
that.
supremacy and the communist Marxism
20%,
of the
yeah,
ANC
yeah.
party. And we're also seeing all across South Africa these slogans, these chants,
Yeah, kill the
killing
white,
the white people,
kill the
Boers,
boy.
who are the white people of South Africa, people going around with mannequins of babies on sticks, people going to university wearing t-shirts that say kill the white people. I've got to say, not that different from university.
And people think that white racism doesn't exist. It's just like, on the other side of the globe, it just flips.
In California or in London where white people are being blamed.
Racism is like a
this is what
global
happens when you
thing,
actually
right?
take
This
that
is just another country and it's towards a different group. And I mean, they standing there chanting basically, yeah, kill the white people, right? Same like they do in the US, but different, like flip it and then goes like, Black Lives Matters, everyone chanting this.
Ideology to its logical conclusion, you get people saying this kind of thing.
Why do everyone
without even
hate
worrying
each
about the
other?
consequences on social media.
Sort your shit out,
Kill
man.
all white colonial settlers in South Africa, all 4.7 million of them. I want them all dead one by one. Now you have to remember that when it comes to white colonial settlers in South Africa, a lot of the black people living in South Africa today only arrived after or during the same time as white colonialization of South Africa, because what they brought with them was economic potential, economic prosperity, jobs, employment, sewage systems, running water, electricity, all the things that the Europeans brought down to South Africa. And as a result, the land, which was basically uninhabited or slightly inhabited by tribal nomad peoples, suddenly got flooded by people from other parts of Africa moving down to...
My family moved down there because, jobs, opportunity, they're doing something there. And if you're looking at the graph from 1910 to 2016, so that's like in 100 years. And white is this one that's like down here, like 5 million, right? But there's 45 million black people. What do you mean? Colonized. Huh?
To live off of,
and this
what
one is
came
like
from
dropping
European,
down.
Settlement in the region. And so it's actually more true to say that there are far more black colonial settlers of South Africa than white people. And so the idea that it's white people that are only the colonial settlers and never the black people is laughable when you have a better understanding of the history. But
people move where there's job opportunities, right? There's a whole reason why the sandbox people want to come over here, because they see, oh, look, you could get a job over there, or you could get a place to live. You can buy your own plot of land, be free, do whatever you want. I want that, so I go there, right? And I would do the same if I live in a shithole and things are falling apart. All the buildings are gone. There's no more jobs. It's just a terrible place. Wouldn't you want to go somewhere else? Yeah, obviously. Yeah, right. So make sure that it doesn't turn into shit so you can stay where you are, because I love where I am at the moment and I don't want this place to fall apart.
Move on from that. Okay, so now let's take a look at Google Maps to get a better idea of the transformation which has occurred on the street level. So this is Johannesburg. This is very, very central. That's the famous tower there. You've got sports stadiums here. And these are the residential blocks. Now, this is the
But
famous
this is nothing
suicide
compared to
tower.
these shitholes.
It's like an empty tube of a building.
It's the
and
slums.
as
They're literally living in trash bags. I wouldn't want to live like that. Like fucking dirty street, lots of crime, murders every day. I mean, come on. This fucking sucks. And imagine if you have a restaurant there or a bar or a cafe and you only have like these PvP people outside your door. No, hell no. I'm going to pack up my things and fucking leave.
you can tell by the name, people were jumping from the top. And yeah, it was overtaken by these gangs. It was occupied. It was turned into a slum by these squatters.
My brother told me about this one too. This is a fucking haunted tower. They have cleared it out, but they found so much shit in the bottom. So fucking scary, man. It's the gang tower. Yeah.
Monkey.
Scare
Scare place.
dumping trash there. When they eventually cleared it out to try and renovate it and take back control of it, they found huge numbers of bodies at the bottom.
Yeah.
But, let's move on to this area here.
Crazy,
So,
right?
let's go down to the street level. Let's drop the little orange guy and see what it looks like. This is what it looked like in 2010. A relatively clean and well-kept place. Looks very safe and something that looks similar to what you'd find all over the United States, perhaps San Francisco because of the hills, Europe, Australia. It's a very familiar looking scenery for a Western kind of country. Got it in your mind? That's the before. This is the after. Look at it. Piles of trash. All the windows have gone. You got people squatting there, hanging up their laundry. No windows whatsoever. Okay, so no safety. You've seen fences, you've seen walls being destroyed.
And that's like in 10, 15 years, guys. It's crazy. You had a place, you know, normal buildings, apartments, stuff. And then you turn it into this. They fucking remove the bricks and sell them off and all the windows. And this looks like a war zone with just trash. It turned into a third world country in just 10 years.
Bricks
That's
stolen
fucking
and
scary.
sold. Anything metal has been stolen as well for scrap metal.
Because like what it looked like prior, this is like what my place looks like, right? They're normal buildings, apartments, streets, nothing fancy. I don't live in a rich neighborhood. It looks normal. And then imagine you live there. Like I just bought this house like a year ago. Imagine in 10 years' time, I look outside my doorstep and I see shit like that.
It's also, notice in the before picture, you see this road sign here. Now look at today. Gone. All the
It's
road
the
signs have been
metal.
stolen.
They're
and
making the
sold for scrap
monies.
Metal, people just hanging their laundry
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And you've
Making
seen
the
in just a few
monies.
short years, what was
Selling
otherwise
bricks and
a
metal.
safe-looking neighborhood
Scraps.
turned into an absolute war zone.
This looks like India. The place I stayed at in India, I was at this volunteer project. This is what happened. That's why we built a school there in the first place, right? And they would sell all this stuff. And I was with this one Russian organization and helping them build up a school for the kids. And they literally did the same, like selling bricks, tearing down street signs, breaking in, turning everything into money. And we're just like, what the fuck?
It looks like a war zone. Look at it. Looks like a scene from The Walking Dead.
Dude.
There's so much to cover, so let's move on. This is another scene here from this neighborhood. Looks relatively clean and safe and quiet. This is 2009 or 2010. This is what it looks like today, okay? Piles of trash, what looks like sewage runoff. Everything down this street looks like an absolute slum, a war
It's
zone.
a
Glass has
shithole.
been punched out. You're seeing whatever this green stuff is here. And this is
Oh
just
my
in a few
God,
short
it's
years, okay? Now, let's move on to
disgusting.
this other
It's
location,
just
this
a
quiet
green
suburban
stuff.
area. Not
Some fucking slime coming off the building. Dude, this is so gross. I could smell it from here. Like, ugh.
exactly the wealthiest place in the world, but
Disgusting.
nevertheless, something that you'd see and find all over Europe, Australia, the United States, where you have these homes, you've got these walls, a little bit of graffiti there, but nothing out of the ordinary.
No,
really.
looks
so This
okay.
is 2009. This is 2013. Okay, about the same looking thing here. This is what it looks like today. It looks like an absolute
What the-
bomb has been dropped on this
the
building.
fuck?
Fires being set, charring the brickwork outside. Every piece of scrap metal has been sold. All of the trash.
Yeah, the entire fence is gone that was around. And then look at all the stuff. There's a fucking couch. And, dude, who wouldn't want to live like that? You had a decent place, right? And then it's just like, you turn it into this? It looks like a fucking war zone
Is
with
piling up,
trash.
so there's no waste management anymore. No one's paying those taxes. It looks like people are even stealing the tiles from the floor, from the street to be sold.
Yeah, they're
elsewhere.
selling the bricks.
Tons of trash, okay? People are burning what looks like it might be plastic, which is going to create smog and carcinogenic chemicals there.
What a smart merch advertisement, right? Like people are selling everything like bricks and metal and then your merch just pops up.
There. And this is now the reality of South Africa. And you think, who lives like this? Who wants to live like this? Why aren't people just going, okay, guys, we are embarrassing ourselves here, right? We've got school children right there. They deserve better. We are living like absolute animals.
Yeah, poor kids.
Let's sort our lives out. Come on, let's all get together.
Yeah.
Let's clean
Sort
up.
out your
Let's
life,
sort our
man.
societies
Come
out.
on, what the fuck?
Let's clean up our neighborhoods. But no, it seems like these people are perfectly fine and content living like this. And the cancer will spread. Unfortunately, this is something that will spread. If you don't fix it, it spreads further and further. And then
That's what it is.
People start going, well, if you're doing that, why should I live here? You're not helping to maintain the neighborhood. I'm going to go.
Yeah, fuck it. I
And
don't do
people that move
nothing.
into this devalued
You live like
property now
trash.
Are of the people that
I
likely
start
don't
living
care that
like
it's messy,
trash.
and creates a feedback loop. And then what happens is more and more people don't feel like it's their obligation to look after the place because, well, they're not looking after it, so why should I? They
Yeah.
dump rubbish, so I'm going to dump rubbish.
It's a
And it
vicious
creates
cycle.
This feedback loop.
It just spreads.
This creates a culture of dropping trash.
Yeah, but they actively working on making it even better. Like we are, right? Like I feel like, here you pay taxes and therefore you have different things like people sweeping the streets and taking away the leaves so the elderly people can walk here without slipping and falling and breaking their hips. There are schools you can attend to, hospitals, and everyone works together and kind of maintain the system, right? But there, I have the feeling like they don't give a fuck anymore. And everything is so corrupt. So you don't really work and you just do criminal, under the table kind of payment for things. And then you start becoming like this really fishy, scummy, making deals with stuff, right? And then the system just doesn't work.
On the ground, a culture where no
Stop
one
being
is contributing to
retards.
society, and a
Do
culture
something.
that is
That's like
fixated
cleaning
on
up
blaming
or
white people for
I don't
everything,
know.
So much so that
Someone
they can't
do
even look at
something.
themselves in the mirror and the problems that they are causing themselves. But it gets worse. Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
check out this
Dude, it can't get worse. Come on. The literally shit and piss and trash.
area. This looks like a business
it gets
district.
worse.
Looks like a factory, perhaps creating
Of
cartons
course.
and labels. You've got a functioning area, people showing up for work in their cars, very clean. You've got people
So
in
you have
suits, looks like
jobs?
security
Or you
guards.
used to have
This is what it
jobs,
looked like in 2010.
right? They used to have jobs. Because I seen that a lot when I traveled in Asia, that people just dump their trash in the ocean. And then you have turtles, other fish, so much plastic, microplastic everywhere. And people don't give a fuck anymore. They just like eat it out in the ocean more and more. And it's the same here.
And this is what it looks like today. Look at this. It looks like a movie set from 28 Days Later.
Dude.
Everything has been destroyed.
Dude.
Every window has been knocked out. Every scrap of metal
Everything
has
is
been
gone.
sold. And what was formerly this pleasant, tarmacked, clean, windowed, painted place of work, of employment, has now turned into a war zone. How do you destroy a country like this? How do you do it? The answer is resentment and blaming white people for everything. This is going to be a broken record throughout this whole episode. All right, just look at this. Please.
Sorry, I'm laughing because, I've gone through so much shit on the internet because it is fucking racism, man. And then the whole thing, yeah, white racism, but it's real. And then you get what you want. People leave. I mean, the white people leave and they move away and they don't want to be there anymore. And you won. You got the place to yourself. And this is what you turn it into. This is a nightmare. Get your shit together, man.
Gaze upon the depravity and the destruction caused by this sick ideology, right? You think white people did this? No.
We moved away.
White people did not do this. Now, let's look at this location in South Africa. Again, you'd see sites like this.
My brother lived there and he just like, dude, I can't take it. I gotta fucking leave. I refuse to stay. Dude, this crazy. He told me like horror stories about people breaking into your house in the middle of the night with guns and stuff. It's like it's on a whole nother criminal level. You don't feel safe there, and he's got family, so they just like, enough of this. Let's go somewhere else.
All across Europe, Australia, and the United States. You got a lot of open spaces, farmland, well-kept grass. The roads don't have any potholes. It's very clean.
Yeah.
The homes look well maintained in the area. This is in 2009.
This looks beautiful.
This is what it looks like today. This is the same road, right? This is the same exact location.
This is sad.
Look at it.
This is
Look
sad.
at this.
No.
Look at the trash buildup.
No, this is sad.
What is going on? How do you destroy a country like this? This beautiful country. Look at the trash, all right? All the metal has been sold as scrap, and now you're seeing these slums being erected on these locations.
Why?
Which I'm sure has to do with the reappropriation of land that was owned by the white people and then given over to the black people who don't necessarily come from a farming background, that can't function and make use of the land. And as a result, they've just created these slums where they've gone around, and I'm assuming stolen anything they could, stolen the water pipes, and now you got, issues
This
with
is
running
so
water,
sad
there's no
to
sewage.
see. Because it was beautiful before. Did you see how lush and green and oh my God. And you turn it into this shithole.
And this is what you get, okay?
This is what you get.
Now, there is a
This
lot more to
fucking
show you
sucks.
in today's episode, so I will try and be quick. But let's check out this other location, okay? This is what a street in South Africa
White
looked
man
like in
bad
2010.
gets land, turns it into a piece of shit.
This is what it looks like today.
What?
Mountains of trash as far as the eye can see. People living in the trash, children playing in the trash, people defecating in the trash. You can practically smell it from here.
Yeah, I can smell it. I can smell it. That's disgusting, man. That's wild.
And this is not just this one road. It is happening all across South Africa.
No, actually, in this case, 5 years. Because prior video, like where it's still lush and green, was 2020, and this is 25. So that's 5 years. But all in all, together, like it has slowly shifted in the last 15 years or so. Because my brother, he must have left 5 or 6 years ago. It's also very long. For me, it doesn't feel that long, but yeah.
Africa, after years of black supremacy, radical hatred of white people, and the Marxist communist socialism of the ANC
white people,
party, which is destroying the nation.
And then they all leave, and now this.
Well, finally, some people are starting to turn around and scratch
you,
their
white
heads and
people.
wonder, wait a second. Maybe white people weren't to blame for all of the problems of South Africa this whole time. Maybe the problem had to do with something else entirely. Something else far less politically correct.
No. Of course it's the white people. The white people, no, that's all their fault. Obviously, right?
Than blaming white people for everything. Because as we've seen white people being massacred, driven from their lands, and are leaving South Africa in their hordes, South Africa hasn't improved. It's getting worse by the day. Wrap your heads around that, Black Lives Matter. This is an inconvenient reality that we must contend with if we want to get to the truth and actually fix these societies for the betterment of all mankind, especially here, the black people who are now living in these slums, we need to address
This is so
the root
sad
of
to
the
see,
problem.
right?
Okay.
Just trash.
Now, let's move on to a few other locations before we wrap up the video. This was once a functioning train station. You can see people here gathered outside, maybe waiting to be collected by a bus, but this is what it looks like today. Every scrap of metal has been stolen. You see the metal.
And let me guess, they removed the train tracks, so now you don't have connection and you can't travel between places anymore, or not as efficiently like you could. This is retarded. This is super retarded.
Fences, the metal window frames, everything has gone. It has been turned into a ghost town. And another aspect of this is that because we are seeing such...
Oh yeah, load shedding. For those who don't live in bigger cities, you won't know what this is. But basically, you only have electricity a certain amount of hours. And there's different districts that share the electricity grid. So when I lived in Kathmandu, I lived in grid 3. And that meant I had electricity from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon. And then again late in the evening, like between 6 and 9 or something. And the rest of the day, you would have to have generators going. Right, businesses and such, they had like generators. And if you want to drink like fresh squeezed juice or something, and you go to a place and they're just like, no, we don't have money to start the generator, so you can't have juice, right? So you just get water or something. So it fucks up with electricity grid. And I could like, I know it's similar in South Africa and in Durban, because my brother told me about this as well. It depends on what area and what districts you live in. So you get the supply of electricity. And it's fucked up to live like that. I know, because I did, and it fucking sucks.
In 2023, power cuts occurred on over 300 days of the year.
You can't shower when you want to or flush down your shit.
Days worth of outages.
And, yeah.
We're seeing 6,894 hours of load shedding on the power grid. And basically, you got to think about what this means for businesses. Okay, so first of all, the railways shut down. There's no more electricity to keep them running. When the power is turned off, people are able to grab the metal and sell it for scrap. So let's look at this other location here. This was once part of the railway system. It was part of the energy grid here.
No.
But if you just fast forward from 2009 to today, you see every scrap
sold
of metal
everything.
has been stolen. Even the window sills and the metal on the roof has been stolen. And so
no
now
more power.
The metal from the...
No more traveling, no more power. You live in a shit place. And you are doing this, like, you're letting this happen. Why is nobody like, oh my God.
Railway systems have gone...
The sad thing is it was all there. It was all functioning. You could have just maintained this. Right? But you let it fall apart.
And now if you just go around the corner here, you see that what's happened is that they've built slums on
it is Fallout New Vegas.
Railway lines. Okay?
The slums.
And this is what they're doing all over South Africa, basically cannibalizing the infrastructure that was keeping the country running. If you lose power, you also lose CCTV, so crime rates have gone up. Anyone that works with the internet or with computers can't work. So you think of all the offices, all the banks.
Yeah, like I just said, like I have lived in I travel, and there are areas where I literally had to go out of my way to chase electricity, and it is annoying as fuck because you're not the only person thinking like this. There are lots of other fucktards out there that want to charge their thing and do their stuff, and when it's split up and doesn't work as a unit, it's just like so annoying, right? You wouldn't want to live like that.
Even if you're in the creative industries, using computers, filmmaking, graphic design, that's now offline. All the supermarkets, right? All the fridges and refrigerators can't run unless they have generators. So all the generators have sold out.
Look at all this trash, man. And they just throw it on top of more, like piling up. Oh God, this is so bad.
Night time, and so that gives rise to more sexual violence on the streets, more theft. And this has destroyed the country, okay? This has completely destroyed the country.
Yeah.
They don't know how to run it.
This is
They
how.
don't know how to run it. All they know is blaming white people and resentment. And that's what you get. Now,
But
unfortunately,
that's not
the
what it
left-wing
is.
media...
Dude, the white people f***ed off. So now that the white people are gone and their place turned into shit, I suggest get your shit in order, spin the shit around, show us all how bad the white people are, and show us like how wonderful and amazing and cool you can spin the shit around. Turn it into a paradise. I mean, that's all you got to do now, right? They're all gone. So, show up and start cleaning the streets. Make the kids go back to school and,
do not report on this. They are parroting the lines of the ANC, which is just blaming white people for everything. So let's check out this video from Vox, a
I
more
blame
left-leaning
Scooby-Doo.
media outlet, and see the way they report on
And this is not the only place where it goes like that in the world.
this.
This strip in Cape Town, South Africa, divides the beachside community of Strand from the township of Nomzamo. They're only a few meters apart, but the people on each side live very different lives. Strand has backyards and driveways. Nomzamo is much more dense, and the people here have fewer basic services. Less piped water, less internet access, and Nomzamo is majority black, while the area across the line is majority white. If we use dots on a map to represent race, you can see how stark that divide is. If we zoom out to the whole city, we can see it's actually everywhere. And this is the case across much of South Africa. The color of your skin here often determines where you live. It also determines your quality of
You
life.
see how race and skin color is being blamed for this? Okay, they're so close
It's
to
always
getting
the
it,
skin
but
color.
they just completely
That
miss
goddamn
it.
skin color.
So you see here in this video that skin color is being blamed for this, that the implicit diagnosis
Fucking skin
is that
color.
it's
We should
white
all, you know
people
what?
are
We should just shave off our skins.
oppressing black people, and that apartheid
no.
hasn't gone away, and that it's basically still the same today.
Also, since I travel so much, right? The skin color, it's so funny how it works in certain areas in the world. Like if you travel, I went to Thailand on a holiday, right? And most of my friends, they were all trying to get a tan and look more brown. And I bought this deodorant and I used it. And there was this product like whitening, and you saw it like everywhere, like all these skin products. They would go like, so your skin would be paler. And I just like, that's funny because in Europe, it's the opposite. All my friends buy self-tanning cream in the summer. So get more like, golden brown, and we're trying to look like sun-kissed, beautiful. And so it's funny how it shifts.
Look at the
Clemens
piped
also
water
thanks
access.
for the
Look at
bits.
internet
Thank
access,
you.
right? It says nothing here about how it's black people in those exact same areas that are stealing the water pipes and stealing the copper cables, which has meant that they can't enjoy internet access or running water. It says nothing about the fact that it was the white people who were inventing and creating and providing the piped water and the internet access and the cables and coming up with all this technology for everyone to enjoy, but it is being ruined by a certain percentage of the black community, the black demographic, who are ruining it for everyone else. So it's not like white people are trying to go out of their way to make the lives of black people worse. It's the other way around. And it's a sad...
Old South Africa, New South Africa. Oh my God, this is terrible. Rhodesia. You have Zimbabwe up there. So it's not only like what happens down in South Africa. Other countries in Africa are affected by this as well.
That is affecting the lives of other black Africans that don't want it this way.
Yeah.
And I absolutely
it's so
love
sad.
South African people. I love them. I
Yeah.
had a really great maths teacher at school.
My
This black
family
South
is
African rugby player
African.
guy,
Come
wonderful
on,
guy,
like,
really inspirational
and
guy.
it's so sad. Like, my brother had to take the entire family and move away from there because it turned into a shithole, right?
Miss them a lot. My next door neighbor today is a black South African. Lovely family. I love them to bits. My kids go around the house and play all the time. Wonderful. But there's a reason why they don't live in South Africa anymore. And there's a reason why so many South Africans, black and white, are leaving and are getting the heck away.
Normal
from all
people.
this, black supremacy and
Normal people move away. Retards stay behind. And this is what happened when you leave retards out of control.
and white hatred.
Right?
Because it's destroying
And
the
they turn
country.
the place into a
But
trash
national media
hole.
don't talk about this, all right?
Because
Now, a couple of
if
more
you're
locations
normal,
before
you
we
would
wrap up
just
the video.
pack your
Here we
things
see
and get
an
the fuck
underpass,
out of
very
there.
Clean, no potholes. Looks even better than some parts of downtown LA and San Francisco. This is what it looked like in 2013 in Johannesburg, and this is what it looks like today.
So
Look
it's like
at
10
that.
years.
Look at it. People are now
Well-
living there. You can imagine the drug use. All right, you're seeing potholes now. Just disgusting. All right, this is how
Disgusting.
you turn a first world country into a third world country.
Disgusting.
The same is true in this little area of Johannesburg, okay? So there's no graffiti here, very clean, well kept and maintained. This is what it looked like in 2009, and this is what it looks like today, all right? Same thing every single time. Here
And my brother lived in Durban. That's another big city, right? So I bet it's like it just shifted so much everywhere. So the whole place is like fucking falling
we have
apart.
another location, this high-rise block of apartments here. Not the best place to live in the world, but certainly not the worst. Let's look at it today. Look at that.
What
Just
the
all trash,
fuck?
time and time again. Another example is this public swimming pool. You can't quite see it, but it's just there behind the trees. You see this massive
2020?
fence here. It doesn't look very well maintained. It looks like it's already on its way out. But this is what it looked like in 2010, and this is what it looks like
2010.
today. The swimming pool has gone. It's been filled in with dirt and trash, and it's become the local rubbish dump. And
Nice,
this is what you find there. Look
nice.
at it.
Just like,
Absolutely
okay.
heartbreaking.
No more
This is
swimming
how
pool.
no one can enjoy-
Kids, let's go to the pool. Let's swim around in trash bags. Come on, kids. Treats on me.
Nice things.
buy
The
you
kids
ice
don't
cream
get to enjoy
afterwards.
swimming pool. They don't get to learn to swim, and the whole society
awful,
just
man.
crumbling to pieces. Black caused crime. Black caused theft. All right. Black caused drive-by shootings, and this drives businesses away. All right. Now we need to be real about this because we can't forever live off of the narrative that white people are to blame for everything. They just
Dude, the world is falling apart, right? I'm not gonna comment on this. This is like, what the fuck? I can't.
are not, okay? White neighborhoods are safer, more prosperous, okay? People are healthy there. We need to learn from the white people, not hate them and run off of this resentment because it will just destroy you and destroy everything around you. And look, if your worldview, if your philosophy, if the lens that you look through reality from is that of resentment, it will fracture your reality. You will stop seeing reality properly and it will destroy you and everything around you. And this philosophy of resentment is the ideology of the South African government. And that is why South Africa is being destroyed. Resentment, lack of humility, lack of love, lack of openness to learn. This resentment is destroying South Africa.
This is completely out of control. They neglected everything. And if you neglect something and don't look after it, don't maintain it, don't value what you already got, right? And look after it, then you turn the place into a shithole and no one want to stick around and live like that.
Africa. And it's the same wherever you go. Okay, so look at the Middle East. The Middle East is driven on resentment of the West.
Yeah, it's the
resentment of the Christians,
sandbox.
resentment of the Jews, resentment of anything Western.
And that's the problem. And Sandbox is falling apart more and more every day. It's popping up in the news. Everything is shit over there. I'm sorry, but that's all I see. It's just misery. And that means like all these people where it's falling apart and they're having wars and you know, destroying stuff and living in trash piles. They got to go somewhere, right? And where are they all going to go? Stop destroying shit. Maintain, like, you know, do something cool. Build something awesome. Get your shit in order.
And look at the Middle East. Every
Fucking
single Islamic country is
humans,
an absolute
man.
Dump. Okay?
Monkey is sick and
Or just a
tired of this
couple
bullshit.
Are wealthy from the oil, but are
Monkey
still not exactly
says
places
we
you
need to
go for a
stop.
good human rights track record. Okay?
Right
And
now.
it's the same with the Soviet Union and all the communist countries. Okay, communism is a resentment philosophy.
Because look, chat. All these people that live in holes, they gotta go somewhere, right? And they're all coming over here and ruining this place. And that also sucks, and I don't want that to happen. So, yeah.
It was all blaming the wealthy people and the rich for all their problems. They massacred the rich, and then the next wealthiest people were then fair game. And then the next wealthier. And then
Let's just say the person who robbed me was desperate, and no, he wasn't Danish, okay? Because shit is happening where you're from, but that doesn't mean that you can act like shit when you're somewhere else, right? When I traveled, I always respected the culture, the rules, the laws in the country. Different laws, different countries, right?
the next wealthier. And then it became whoever had 2 potatoes instead of 1 was seen as rich, and then you had to massacre them and send them to the work camps and the gulags. And it destroyed everyone. It destroyed the Soviet Union. It destroyed Russia, I should say. And this is what resentment does. And now resentment is now seeping like venom into the bloodstream of Western society.
In a sense. I live in a utopia dream in my head that one day we are going to live in the Star Trek universe, and there's no more money, and there's no more borders, and we travel different galaxies, and it's going to be fucking awesome. And I wish that would work, right? But as the system is now, we also have to respect, like, that you set certain boundaries so you can control, in a sense, your environment and what's happening and contribute, like, paying taxes in Sweden, make sure everything works around in Sweden. It's easier to just focus on this tiny country rather than the entire world, right?
In Europe, in America, in Australia, and Canada and beyond, in the form of wokeness, in the form of intersectionality, diversity, equity,
But it
inclusion,
doesn't work.
Black Lives Matter, all that kind of stuff, which is blaming the white people.
The whole system
West
at the
for all of
moment,
the
it doesn't
problems.
work.
And the same thing is going to happen to Europe as has happened in the Middle East and South Africa. Okay, we need to move beyond the spirit of Cain. If you familiarize yourself with the story of Cain and Abel, where you had Abel making the appropriate sacrifices, which was pleasing to God, and then you had Cain, who didn't make the appropriate sacrifices, and instead of learning from that and aligning himself back with reality, and the source of truth and reality itself, became consumed with rage and resentment, and then murdered his brother, murdered Abel. Instead of learning from him, murdered him. The same thing is happening in South Africa. The people making the appropriate sacrifices, paying their taxes, working really hard, contributing to society, instead of learning from them, they're massacring them. They're driving them out. And now what's left? Okay, we've got the spirit of Cain.
And that's
running
savage.
These countries now. Learn your lesson, Europe. Don't turn your country into a slum because of these resentment philosophies. Detect them a mile away and fend them off. Fight it back and run away from them, okay? Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hype the video as much as you can. It really helps the algorithm boost these more controversial topics.
That's why I'm scared, What are we doing? Get your shit in order. Yeah, who wants to live in a trash place? You want to look after what you got.
Subscribe to the show if you haven't already. Super close to the 100,000 mark at this point, which is really exciting. Check out the merch store down below to support the channel. And lastly, I want to say a massive thank you to the X account, Josie vs. Josie, who has compiled so much of these before and afters, which really made my work a lot easier on today's show. So go and follow Josie vs. Josie on X if you can. And I'll speak to you in the next video. God bless.
Awesome. Guys, I link you the video. Very, what can I say? Very sad and informative and eye-opening video. Is a good take, yeah. Because I didn't realize it was that bad. Like I said, my family lived there, but this is years ago. They moved away because they also say it was shit.